fancy, where we shall say, and everywhere also on a day, we say God thank you today now, beautiful, beautiful blessing. As a matter for the weather to me now, you do very nice today, winner Saturday, March 5, 2022. We all begin the year and the third month so. So now roll the year they roll so. Now I mean any two way post you get for do are now not begin they put them. So that wait for stay next month, next no, you're not gonna be too sure of that. So do now. And now it is here. So tell God thank you for this day. Of course, I know now say me get a very special program what they do. We if you watch actually the interviews more than me they do now. Tell God thank you. We viewers don't bring this. So from time to time I would bring people them in who would talk to them from all strands obviously. Today I get a returning guest. We are the big man for the SFPP now, Holland, the big man. Samasai in there today. So today we come talk on a number of issues them. Both national as well as international. We will even not only domestic politics we will talk about, we will even talk about foreign policy as to which they unfold in Ukraine, how that tends to affect the African countries. Mr. Masai, first I'll tell everybody how to do. Then we start the ball rolling immediately.
All right. Good evening to all of you listeners out there in the USA, in Australia, in Africa, just everywhere on earth tonight.
Thank you. The first question I want to discuss. Why is it that politics Salone a do or die? Why not a do or die? Even though power, according to democracy, now the people then, I mean they call a government for the people, by the people, and existing with the legitimate consent of the people then. Now the ordinary people then are still they give power. But why is it politics now Africa, in particular Salone, a do or die? You can run with through that.
Thank you very much, Brother Kutubu. Well, I don't know the use of do or die here, whether actually this is not the case with everybody in the country's political arena, because we don't see Ahmed Tijan Kaba the late, for example, turned president in the country for years, and then after that, conduct elections in 2007, and a party lost to the APC, still do or die. Instead, what you do, you give power to the APC for avoid a political rift in the country. So it's not always in every cases, you get for experience that do or die. Either in Sierra Leone or elsewhere on the African continent. We don't see Nelson Mandela being placed behind bars for 27 years, the height of apartheid. At the end of it all, he lead the country only one time. Say do or die. They say, well, here is the country, not like because I fed. For like apartheid died in this country, I get for the forever. No. I mean, this is always a case for do with a person's personality trait. I don't tell you earlier on. Some people are born with personality traits where you get for do with stubbornness. They're very stubborn. They want this, they want time. And they get for happy. Again, some get a personality trait for do with honesty. They're very honest, they're very fair, they're genuine. So this was the case with Nelson Mandela of South Africa, the case with Ahmed Tijan Kaba. Now we also get some other people that we can feel say, oh, well, hey, this is not politics are they now. Of course, I get for take everything for being my own personal property. So inside it, then can sort of try for implement that do or die. We don't see this in the case of Dr. Anes by Kuruma, for example, was a mistake the APC, young political party, for very much for a patrimony, a property handed down to somebody by, let's say, a relative. It can be an uncle or someone else in the family. Now, so you don't mistake. All of those things can only be attributed to type of personality trait imminent in the person. So that do or die thing, yes, in some situations in Africa, yes, I mean, it's commonplace, but not to all sides.
Thank you. The next thing I want to pursue, as President Bio, as you see, you don't make outreaches to opposition people then. Well, you get two different, you get variety of the school of thought. Some look and say na political expediency. Some look and say na ways and means to defend for make sure say he did na power and all that. What are your honest assessment about the outreach to the opposition them, bringing them on board? What are your honest assessment of that?
Hmm. Uh, Brother Kutubu, I think the best in politics, the best way for really get rid of somebody in opposition, and for reach out, humble yourself, because now that the Lord say, I mean, he that is down need fear no fall. He that is low, no pride. But above all, he that is humble ever shall have God to be his guide. His Excellency, the President Julius Maada is a very humble person. So he's always down there, I mean, to talk to every person, including even those in opposition. So I want to believe, say, at the step where you take this BNTM, where you reach out to Kanda Yonkela, now one of the best steps ever we a sitting president for doing our country, you know. Kanda Yonkela, as you all know, and I'm a part of we. You know, he introduced himself as being not a native of Gambia, but a native of the SLPP. And to all know say na SLPP abone, that is what happened. But in politics, at times stakes can get high. Then you begin for a rebut, what you call crisscrossing of political arena. Somebody can left this political party, go join the other one. So now that happened. Can they been get that right there for crisscross political arena? Although this happened very, very, very late, you know, and this now one thing we me personally go left for blame on the one that we surround the kind of young killer team as advisors. Therefore, don't tell them say, you know, pa, you get international recognition, then sabi you globally. The world's leading search engine, Google, describes you as a public orator, but the decision for take now for go join a political party 6 months to the post, that is really very, very late. I mean, them for don't get that advice, but they not do one. So at the end of the day, they get for decide for left for go form a political party inside a society as impoverished as Salone. I mean, 6 months to the post, that was very, very late. If you get down to Pujan, one of the most remote districts in the country, uh, little information about NGC. If you go to Kailan, little information about the NGC. So what in there were the big players who surround Kanda Young Killer, in my own view, for don't be for advice and say, you know, nothing, stay inside this party. That is it. But not happen, Kanda left and go. So you don't spend years there. Uh, still not able, that's still not able to turn on to president. And remember, the party where you get, they call them the NGC, National Ground Coalition. The Ground Coalition, of course, get for be, it's other big names then on the political arena get for come together and say, okay, well, this is now our objective, this is now our aspiration, come together and form one body. But if you take a look at the NGC today, from where they form, I think 2017, I know they say the least political party don't come for some amalgamate with them. No, it not happened yet. So now for me the time for let the president reach out to Skande, I think using even one Mende proverb, that Mende proverb, Aba Jomi, Lela Kaumi, waiting tranga pa you na the mami side, take count to the daddy side because until you get for a license strength. So in that case, I go left for really sort of throw me support behind that of the president at too small I mean as a chapter chairperson, but you know, as a party comrade, because the president now we national leader of the party, and I believe forget that as national leader of the party, in we leading comrade in the party. So I go left for use this occasion for throw me weight behind them, for call on Kande for think of that proverb about Jomi, Lelakeomi. You don't try all these years, the NGC not still able to make you president. And maybe this happens simply because, you know, again, it is written, God's time is always the best. So tell God in time for let Kande be president, you know, be it. Yeah, or sometimes Kande not even get for be president through the NGC. So tell Kande vote for come back. Now the daddy side we say come out, go now the mommy side, the NGC side. So all of those things are there. Another proverb for really use to Kande, because we don't hear this say that they don't come from another group again, I don't know, something like COP, constitution of political opposition political parties, and they try to invite Kande in. You know, my own take on that, it's not like a bait where they go design some side, you know, ornament, it look very, very shiny. At least as shiny as that package where we big powers them, the EU don't design for African leaders, they sort of twist their attention away from that genuine business part which China get for them. Remember the big powers in the EU that they enslaved we for well over 400 years, even go to the extent and build warehouses for human cargo. They call them castles. For example, in Ghana, they call them Elmina Castle. And the domot where they put by that castle, they call them the doors of no return. Meaning, for 400 years or so, all the human cargo where they pull, the Elmina Castle, by way of these doors, never ever cease to Africa. And this not happening. But then same big ones then, now they don't come together now, put together a very ornamented bait. You know, like you go fishing, that bait will take put by you hope for attract fish. Now that they don't put because China don't come with a genuine package say Africa, we know enslave now. We know colonize now. I mean, we know sort of occupy now, we know impose values on now, including traditional and cultural values, as a result of which Chinese speaking is nowhere to be found in the African continent. But yeah, we get package for you. We don't see say they in need. And the package is big in the tune of billions of dollars, not in millions, you know. So
Right.
can they that's where they don't form when they call COP. Now, very much, in my own view, very much a bait with a design for sort of take kind of attention away from that of a possible family reunion with the SLPP. If I be very careful. So in that case, I'd advise Kanda again for turn to the use of one amended proverb. We say, Jaya elva bebuanuma. What do they mean? One green body of water, all ten for cross arm, pass you put trusses, you know. I like now before you modern law, you bralo, you know, you picking and pass you put trusses. No, enough for be so. Now for find idea, make put in place at least a makeshift canoe or makeshift bridge for the use and for cross the water. Now this what happened to Kande. He don't do crisscrossing once, left SLPP, which I introduced himself as being a native. He don't go form a own political party with an NGC. But that NGC, one party want to form this COP now, no come for can join Kade. If then they form COP now, they are involving the APC side Samora Kamara, may argument get for me, Samora Kamara look likely for come
Okay.
down and say, okay, can you can take the lead and be flag bearer for I don't see that anything
Okay.
likely to happen anytime soon. So
Okay. We don't actually like drum beats the kind of episode on China all that thing. So what we want to one for the whole briefly so that way we will pursue a lot of things then. Now the next
mhm,
other question also, we perhaps now
mm,
a follow up to the Kande saga, Mrs. Bio
mhm,
Ian Dr. Sylvia Blyden, we don't need to see the
mm,
teamwork, the collegiality and coming together. What do you make of
mhm.
that? Very quickly.
To be honest with you, I don't know, but Kutubu, uh, Fatima Bio maybe not to they not declare him yet a global political figure. But let me tell you a good idea, yeah. Now that if I expect of the first lady. I mean, every viable woman in society, now for come with and around you. You know, it get ideas them. This lady been on the side of opposition political parties, I mean APC, for a very long time as minister in key positions. You know, it gets secret for take tell Fatima Bio, you know, we as an incumbent political party get for maybe use for the in power. So I don't see them as any bad idea at all for encourage silver blighting around them. No, afterwards, Fatima Bio, like I said, is very, very mature. I mean, you know, only look presentable, but I think Naledi will also like your husband, they defend your husband's agenda that of bringing development to the country. So if I don't see say silver blighting now an obstacle to all of those things, I don't think say it will encourage them around them. No. So let we get time, you know, let's see their blighting unveil into nature unto her.
Thank you. Next thing we look at what are the chances that we within the diaspora we will be part of the political process in the sense we will
Mm.
submit to elections and we will vote.
We
Because
go
the
with it.
thing is, no, the question was that waiting at the
Mhm.
chance that we within at the diaspora, we within outside Salone,
Mhm.
we will be part of the political process by way of participating, meaning that we'll get
Mm.
the right for vote and they will vote for we also. When you consider the fact say we said they spend money by the political parties them.
Well, I think His Excellency, the President Julius Maada Bio, don't begin for create a pathway, even broader pathway leading to that. Remember, before there will be the talk about SIM card two SIM card, three SIM card, full SIM card. His Excellency say, hey, hello, that counting for stop him. That two SIM card business no there anymore under him, true or not? So
Good.
if today we don't rule out that two SIM card business gradually, I mean, I believe with time, with resources again, because this resources now get for put in place, we say you within the diaspora get for go and vote, and that vote they encounter either send out by mail or whichever means, those things. I believe say with time, I mean, if the president get the mind for convince the country, say, that thing, these two SIM card business, don't forget about them, because what happened, they will bother us the way they not diaspora. Then go there, as a result of situations beyond their own control. Not all man left within a diaspora, but certain things, 911, certain people left for Canada. For example, war been inside Salone for 11 years. During this war, plenty left the society, go other society. They left, they get chances then for come, either for can seek asylum now or some of them travel Canadian societies now, so under the UN. Then they are for very, very long time now. They can visit the country, then they have support to society. If then they have support to the society, by extending help hands to either relatives, but by contributing towards development, either in the country or in political parties, then of course the right for vote, for determine who and who for lead them on the country's political arena, that right should be given. But I believe say yes, now time, next year so all get for take place. And President Bio, I believe say get consideration for all those things. It just get for take a matter of time, because most of those things you don't get for go say because me the president, this get for happen anyhow. Most of those things get for pass through parliament, parliament get for debate am, parliament get for vote on am. And once a consensus is reached on those things, of course, becomes handier for the president for say, okay, this and this will happen now in the interest of then we salon diaspora brothers and sisters. So I believe, say, yes, with time, the president, the government, the parliament, all get for work and give we the right day for decide whether for lead way through the ballot box.
Thank you. The question now, Holland, so you are short of water every day.
Mhm,
You are short of electricity supply every day. You are short
mhm,
of, affordable transportation. You able go to the supermarket and you buy, things that we able afford. We were talking about
mhm,
basic things, basic.
mhm.
So
Basic
when people in
services,
the
yeah.
yeah, now basic, yeah, we you don't necessarily get for be a rich man, but at least you just entitled to that here. You, for
Yeah.
example, you get when I get 911, 911 mean emergency, where something happen, ambulance, the ambulance they can the police they can
Mhm,
and all that thing. Because that basic things
mhm.
they need for help, you know. So when you hear people they complain about, the shortage of that thing in that saloon, I mean, what's that your reaction and how you feel say we for able for the extent kind of a thing in it? Because this on actually we talk about development, country advancement, I didn't see in it.
Yeah. But Kutubu, I will have a start some side for, first tell you, say the world today, not a fair world. Take a look at the world today. You realize maybe now only two continents they enjoy on Earth. North American continent and European continent now, perhaps part of Asia, also we get Russia, also, yeah, or maybe Australia. These are the only two sides. The world big enough. If you go to Asia, they get poorer societies there. So if you go to societies like Nepal, Vietnam, these societies, then poor past Salone. The services that we talk about, then they even get a glimpse of access to the service system. That is it. Simply because, there we big ones that I tell you about earlier on. We can for can enslave African societies. We can for can colonize African societies. They not only do those things, even the idea for developing societies, then ideas they don't want for share anyone with any of them poorer societies then. But you look, there's societies out there, Europe, North America, they don't get diamonds. But when you speak of mineral processing center, now Antwerp, the second largest city inside Belgium, true or not? At the height of the golden age, when they go thief all the iron ore, some player unable to survive in the absence of iron. Now iron they need for make motor car, for make train, trucks, a lot of things. Then go thief everything, come with everything, bury everything underneath the earth. They did it. Then they use them and they don't introduce another thing what they call recycling. Then therefore use this like iron and put some iron, go melt and some side transformer into something for use. Then they use that they again and again 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. and then they go recycle down there. Who stand down there for them before they ever come to African societies or Asian societies them? For can say, okay, the balanced mountains they will get left there, over the centuries containing steel, raw iron, or we can for come for come mine there. So the thing is, not to like we don't want time, or leaders no want time. But if leaders come to their societies them and say, you know what, we need these and these basic services in our societies. The price, the cost we then get for put we leaders them, it go make leaders them run away. Yeah. So this is why again the advice we African leaders them, not only Russia and America they've done to then get other societies that we don't emerge. We're big today. China. We're having the commercial salon for come back in Holland on the 11th of January this year. I passed through Ethiopia. We are Boston at Addis Ababa airport. Now because like Boli International Airport, it's not any longer Gabriel Halis last international airport. We are Boston. I begin to wonder, am I in Europe? Is it a dream? And the people that we may see, I mean, not Chinese them. They Chinese, they like I put them. They don't enslave Africans. I don't believe so they do. No, they don't come colonize any portion of Africa. But today, they're ready for come strike genuine business deals with African societies. So this society is able to emerge. If we leaders them, now West Africa especially able to learn from those things and say, well, not like only Britain, for example, not only the US we get for pass through. If we get China, if we get other societies that were big, ready for come, for let we emerge, let we share with them. And not until that is done, the shortages them in terms of them basic services them will continue for dominate we as African societies. So that I'm your take on that.
Thank you. Um, which sense will it make for then we politicians and we leaders and then they take money from their own country then they go bank and at the white man in your country. Then at the same money then they go again for whole length. Then they pay more interest. I mean, that make any sense to you?
Well, I think African leaders by now would not learn. Take a look at the crisis we're going right now in Ukraine. See the seizures we don't take place, the confiscations we don't take place. Russian property we don't suffer confiscation. You know what it causes that? Because corruption in Russia. The one that we not manipulate, we don't call them oligarch. They all they tip money, embezzle money, come keep them. In places like USA, in places like UK, this that. What don't become of all this property? They don't seize all. So the advice to African leaders, then, one way for see Africa develop as one of the oldest continents on earth, invest inside your country. And when you get not from pull on your country, because when you pull on count and societies like maybe like Switzerland, you can't from Holland. By the time you die, then they go tell Salone, say, oh, this na leader, we be there alive, we be the lead now this and this amount of money and millions, billions now that it can put na this bank. No, then they ever do them. Then get for use and for continue for develop their youth societies. So me advice to them, then for set examples where we get for fella to man. Money where you get out of leadership, out of business, that money they do ya no capital for come bank and invest trust in the first place in your own financial institutions, them including banks. Save your money, and then your national banks them here and there. Another thing again, get for do it, even investing your money you get you can open things like soap factory, common factories them, companies them inside your own society. But for do that will lead us they will then come, let us say meetings here and there or conferences. Now always a case where you get for see them left the hotels, they will say then go put them from there, then go to conferences, and from the conferences back to these hotels. So they do not go out. And because they do not go out, then they will tell who's and which minor developments in their societies now. So we actually able to take back home and go implement. It should be a case where they come, they get time. We then have, for example, as a political party. With plenty, we are established, and not only in Eindhoven, where I reside. We get members in The Hague, known here as The Hague. We get some in Rotterdam, the second largest city. If when I come, for example, to attend a conference in Rotterdam, we all came meet. After our conferences, now forget ample time for come out, go out, do what you call, like random sampling, begin to ask people like this and this, what services, how to implement something like this. They get for ask people, but they are always like, from hotel, we don't see this so many occasions. Then they can even want to know whether a party members now how we able to mingle with these party members them. So I mean, together we able to go at the homes of them party members that we sit on. If now we come on cassava leaf, yeah, that's a key trouble they will arrange them for we. You know, they need one. That is really bad. So that would be one advice also to offer them tonight. For say on a campaign conference, they don't want to the passport them or the visas they will give you now. The visa allow una for come out for go out for work. Una not for free. Take good advantage of that. Use them the right way. Mingle with the one them where they now decide to go for go attending conferences and the like. Let them show una. You know, take una out, you know, on sightseeing. Let una say go see, waiting and waiting. At least the listing for take back home for implement so people able to learn from that. But they don't do that. And I would like for you this occasion tonight for bring this to them. When you come do ya, if you can't for meet with the prime minister now, you can't for talk to parliament. That 3 days they give you. Within that 3 days, ask them, I get any right for meet party members, them, I get any right for meet the community people, them, I get any right for even sit on private homes and sit on chat with me people. Them. If you get those rights, and the package you can take you in the form of visa, then take good advantage of that right. Sit down with them, sit down with your people, them, you get the right, let them tell you waiting and waiting, you're able to take back home. Then I'm the advice to them tonight.
Thank you. The Minister of Basic Education, Dr. Asenge, kind of he make an appeal, a clear call to, you know, the alumni association. They say let them invest in, you know, building laboratories, that they schools them, so they also go help, you know, in this education. But as usual, the detractors they take a very, you know, negative way. They begin blaster. You know, so what you will say about that?
Why then for blast time in the first place now appeal the man make? Kutubu, if I can't tell you, say that you had where you were, I like him, do you agree to me? You know, it left to you. You know, for blast me, tell me, so, oh, well, now this is not the only one I get. Or, okay, you know what, I get two, but now this is not the one where I like over mark. So, yeah, this one, take this one. You know, if I want time, you know, I for no say, me na a beggar. You for no say, me na a beggar. You know, I don't get any choice. That is it. Education minister, get a mandate for go for appeal, for plea, for seek help for kind for sort of supplementing effort in that of extending services to schools them under them. Now that demanding for them. I don't see any reason for blast for them. No. Either tell them say the means not there for help you now, so you get for wait, or you say okay, means they but this and this not the standards then we will lay aside from it. If you meet the standards, then of course you get access to this and this aid. I think that should be the right approach to take, and not for begin for blast for them. No, me not say I'm that way.
Uh, they mean the international community will create the ICC for people that will be involved in war crimes and other crimes against humanity.
Mhm.
Looking at things as they unfold now, Ukraine, in your honest opinion or honest assessment, you not believe say Mr. Putin don't almost reach that mark where people will be right for accuse them of war crimes? You know, believe so? And if yes, you not think say
Kutubu,
actions are taken?
sorry, I know you try to cut you off, Kutubu. I don't tell you say the world today not a fair world, Kutubu. Now me and you sit on March 2003. Then are they LIB in a camp? I don't even know say my name ever get for come out for travel under the UN to the kind of society where the UN call a quota country. No, we already say then they go attack in Iraq. Why? Because Iraq get stockpiles of the BMDs, weapons of mass destructions. True or not?
Of course,
In matter of months, yeah, before March 2003, George Bush and allies, you know, they sort of try for galvanize so much support that you know, and just go wage war inside Iraq. And the only weapon of mass destruction so far they able to discover the Saddam Hussein, kill him. You remember that net where they said, okay, Saddam Hussein, George Bush came live on national television and said, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. You got what? Is that the weapon of mass destruction you went to discover in Iraq? So it's funny. Now, the global community, they will pass and levy sanctions. Sanction 1, Sanction 2, all the way to Sanction 9. The single digit finite. They're not going out to Sanction 9A1, 9A2, 9A3, all the way. You know, this sort of sanction for us, we said. Kutubu, you know about the Intifada the struggle with the goal now the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. I mean, these are two places. One where Christ born, Bethlehem, and of course the other place where Nazareth, where Christ grew up. You don't hear about the threat with the go on the way dictionaries and other reference books refer to it as the intifada. How long this intifada don't they go on? Israelis they use not ordinary machines, bulldozers, for go for dismantle homes belonging to Palestinian settlers. I mean, one day the global community don't can not come out in this kind of force can levy sanctions against Israel. I mean, no fair play in all of those things. True or not? You don't see what happened in Libya just because Gaddafi say he want unity in Africa. Gaddafi get money, Libya get oil, we no hard for at all for process. He go use that oil money for unify Africa. Even go to the extent and say, you know what, let we form United States of Africa and also let we get one currency. Me go sort of fund everything. I mean, they get together, the same community has to get together and say, oh, this not will ever happen. When I get for the underway. So what did I do? Pass a mandate. Somebody in America I pass a mandate onto somebody now a command center. A drone now then used for drop a bomb over Gaddafi. It died 2011. You know of this. Nobody no levy sanction against that particular society. We do that. Yeah. You don't hear about what happened in Afghanistan. You don't hear about what happened in Syria. All of those things. But when it comes to Russia, a matter of a week, the sanctions, when you put sanctions like that, like you want for kill state, somebody who's out of this city, they don't act to me like that. I don't can spend 6 months, I mean 6 years in the countryside, a very small village, about 23,000 inhabitants. So I say, well, I'm moving a small city for Spala can, la mingle with because like I look interested in politics and we in a small side now. You see comping Salone posting force and posting only force don't discuss Salone politics with. So I said I left Skynel for a very small village like an hand over. So by the time I talk that, the one that where they under at the village, one part them right, now end up and say, well, me no even one for work this and another, I move kind of one no get job. Where can I end up on? Guess what they do to me? 2 months. That's what they call out caring that this society na social benefit and they get her. I mean, a single parent to two about them for take care of. So that was like a disaster for me. If I don't kill me about them. The only thing will help me, that's small savings probably in a village, because in a village, get side for come out for say a go club, get family for me for say competition between you and Salone person for go parties here and there, so you're able to save. So that's small savings where I make. Now that I get for you for certain bills, including my house rent, electricity bill here and there. But it hurt me to the extent he said, a blast for the one way do I call her a Hitler in the skin of a lamb. That is me. When you cause me emotion, at the vent out that emotion, say, yes, you now you create this for me. So you for take back some of you. That now the same thing I do go on. You go levy sanctions like this against a big state like Russia. And not only that, even this country, Saudi, to be honest, um, one of the former prime ministers in this country, Ruud Lubbers in particular, before he died, remember Ruud Lubbers have been High Commissioner to the NHCR, yeah, now work with Kofi Annan, as Secretary General, now appoint him. So that Ruud Lubbers, the country business had him one time, a blast for this country. Why is it that a warhead, nuclear warhead belonging to America, why is that warhead still buried at the military base in Amersfoort, like 16 minutes, ride by train from Utrecht, the fourth largest city in this country? Why is that the case? If you go to Brussels, we say they get NATO and of course EU headquarters, and also they get plenty of their warheads and buried with noses pointed towards Russia. If you go to Berlin, at the same thing. First, so Germany is home to one of the largest American military outposts. Why we dey talk about global peace? Sustainable global peace. Why are we building all of those dangerous weapons, deploying them in societies out of the American society with noses of these weapons pointed towards Russia? I think the only thing responsible for that, they want to control the Russian society very much the same way they control African society. You know, they just come in, come and slavery, come and slave. From today, we are masters then, we are the slaves then. We are for the under we. Then we don't honor them. For years, for decades, for centuries, those things, they do unto a big power like Russia and go scot-free. So that is what is going on. And I don't believe say the sanctions they in place. And I don't know if then the dog Russian actions now war crimes, therefore they don't ask themselves now, how about American invasion? In fact, this was a joint invasion, not only American, because see, America would ever go to war without first forming coalitions. They always like, oh, our European NATO allies, something like that. These two wars, now these things they use for sort of damage the world, cause this war a very long-lasting destruction, allies and coalition. They always form in coalitions. Then they go to war like that. You know, they want to get people involved. So if we want for, say, bring Russia to court, charge Russia with crimes, war crimes in there, how about the one that we go wage war on Iraq?
Okay.
Yeah, and Afghanistan and Libya
So
and
what?
other places. Are we brave to ask them as well to appear in courts?
Okay. What I want to do? I want to open the line now. Even as we
Mhm.
continue the interview, the line open so we can take us now. The next question I get for you, we deal with foreign affairs and all that and they for now. What are you ever
Mhm.
conceive of any time where Africa, the African continent will ever get a permanent seat that the Security Council of the United Nations? You ever think that it will happen?
Kutubu, yes. First, me a irrational being, and as such, I always hope for the better. That is it. Secondly, Africans, we are on the rise. But the time when slavery began in Africa, maybe in the 12th or 14th century, no one even know. Now they create the histories then for we. Yeah, now that's not the 14th century. You never know, maybe it even happened. It begins some 2, 3, 4 centuries earlier. Okay, but it don't go for 400 years. At the height of it, nobody never imagined an interim, but it happened through education. You understand? Back in I think it was 1884, where Portugal come and propose one thing, say, look, a lot of goods there on the African continent. Yeah. So for that we avoid confusion amongst ourselves, let we avoid scramble. There is need we meet some side and discuss whether and whether for they in control of these and these states on the African continent. A sort of a scramble for Africa. Would I propose that in Portugal? The same Berlin today, we say in the meet, that same Berlin, I say, okay, this is not a very good plot against Africa as a continent. If that is not the case, media offer venue and even refreshment. So that Berlin offer a place. I tell you about that 3 month long conference which took place referred to as the Berlin Conference, November 1884 and February 1885. Just within these 3 months, they plot against Africa so much so that, I mean, they left untold confusion on the African continent. That confusion, they don't even now. Now, if Africa able to emerge out of all those things, Africa say no to slavery. You know, Africa say no to colonization. Africa say no, above all, to apartheid, the worst form of human segregation meted against black persons on their own home soil. If Africa able to emerge out of all those things, definitely speaking, there is going to come a time when the United Nations Security Council will sit down and say, look, if they form part of us, if we've got societies in the African continent which form part of even founding membership to the United Nations, then there is need for us to allow them to be part of permanent United Nations Security Council. That is going to happen. But again, with time, it's going to happen. Who
Thank you.
else? Who else ever imagined? Kutubu, I'm not done yet. Who else ever imagined Kofi Annan of all, a son of Ghana, a society that is home to the Elmina Castle? Whoever imagined Kofi Annan would emerge elsewhere as United Nations Secretary General? It happened as a result of education. So my advice to Africans, place every focus on education. Support those education institutions you've got in your country, including primary, junior, senior, secondary schools, above all, those institutions of higher learning across, because these institutions will be breeding ground for those to advocate the true cause of African society.
Okay, thank you. Talking of that, though, tomorrow by God power will be 65 years since Ghana became independent. 6 March by God power
Mhm,
tomorrow.
mhm,
So looking at things, especially when Nkrumah got removed in power on February 24, again 1966. When you look at it, you consider judgment and carried opinion. When are the strides we Ghana make since the time we be independent, we get independence, March 6, 1957, and then you juxtapose that with when he got removed on power on February 24, 1966, where he got removed. What are the things that we don't see, either the pluses and minuses then? Now Ghana.
First, I want to tell you one thing. Ghana education, and the second thing, perhaps the most striking thing of all, Ghana they try for sort of get rid of corruption, very much the same way in which Sierra Leone, under His Excellency Julius Mandabio, is now trying to get rid of corruption. You know, corruption, any society, hold a society captive very, very long time. Ghana has been like that. But since the days of Jerry Rawlings, you know this. I mean, Ghana has been emerging out of corruption to a society very much attractive to the rest of the global society today. And also, before then, Ghana, the name says not to be in Ghana, not be in the Gold Coast, because Ghana society, that was like gold been plenty on the rest of the West African sub-region, past any other society. So where Ghana begin for emerge out of corruption, Ghana decide for use their products, them, including gold and other mineral resources, them wisely for bring development they country. And I think other African societies are learning a lot from that, not only from Ghana, but from societies like Rwanda. We go through war, go through things like genocide. Today they imagine others like Ethiopia. Look at them. When like I told you, when I landed the Ethiopian airport on the 11th of January, I was wondering whether I was actually in Africa or elsewhere, elsewhere in part of Europe. No, their own, apart from their own airplanes, the Ethiopian, as it is now called, their the bus services, the train, tram, everything, very much a replica of those things we see here in Europe. Those things are happening simply because people of in these societies decided to sort of do away with corruption, which, like I said to you, holds every society hostage. So with time, I'm sure Sierra Leone will learn from Ghana. I'm sure Liberia and others in West Africa will learn from Ghana and other emerging societies in the continent. And then these poorer societies, these corrupt societies would actually be free and start to sort of sense a development in the lives of their people. So that's my hope.
We go back to Salone and we revisit this question of waiting and allegedly oppositions coming together what they call consortium. What's in
Mm-hmm.
your opinion about them? I mean, how durable, I mean, how credible, how durable, and what you think say will be the obstacle, in the quest for attain power, the so-called consortium where they come together. What you foresee when I go constitute a roadblock for them?
Well, it's going to be one word: ego, ego. That is it. Can they don't come and form NDC? What is the difference from NDC between NDC and that of a consortium of for political parties, opposition political? Not the same thing. If Canada don't come form national ground coalition, nobody, all the one they will form part of this new thing now. None able to go amalgamate with Canada. They able to do it happened because some people within certain political parties they don't form part of this new something now. They ego, like ego, it don't big to the extent it don't big the full size. I mean the size of a full moon. For controller, you know easy. Now that make I say, can there be advice from hey, not go there with this bait here now for you then layer. It look very attractive. If you go there, you get for divert your attention away from a family reunion, which is how you born, the SLPP. So left hand for Sky SLPP, show power, show endurance, I mean show that capacity for endure everything. If the president able to show this kind capacity, I mean, in spite of what it can they say, for example, uh, can they be form part of that process called elections? I mean, for elect His Excellency, can they not able get even double digit in the first round of polls? So they not able partake in the second round of polls. Can they oversee this election? They see everything take place. It was so democratic. It was so free, fair, and transparent. Canada see two things now. The election of Bill. Canada also see a case to say Samura Kamara, in 4 years, not ever come out openly concede defeat and say, okay, I'm ready for work, at least in the name of Sierra. Canada only see Kasabula Kamara and the APC don't go so recalcitrant to state authority under Bill, which is very, very bad. I don't think if Canada go there, they go for just say, okay, well, come on, all hail thee. we therefore make you president through this new something. It is not going to happen. It is a deception that is highly decorated to steal Candace's attention away from any possible family reunion with the SLPP. And I really want to say this. It is only in the SLPP that greatness, political greatness, is actually so imminent for Kanda Yonkela. Kanda needs to seize that opportunity. Kanda has to show to the world that he's got a capacity it takes to endure everything and think forgiveness. That exactly is what the president has done. The president, as a true Christian, has gone to open his pages in a book or maybe some prayer books elsewhere and has stopped elsewhere at verses 14 and 15, chapter 6 of the Holy Book of Matthew, where it says, until you forget your fellow human person, the Lord God up there will never forgive you. And the president said, okay, let me reach out to him. There is no need for me to wait until he comes out to say sorry to me. I am saying this because Bio don't come to power. In less than 1 year, you read the kind of statement we can make. It referred to the Bio-led government as being a junta democracy. All man listened to this. It was so shocking, stressful to everybody, even me, the stress. They go through all my veins. Why is he doing this? Is he acting in a show of love for Sierra Leone under His Excellency? Because when you make these kinds of statements, I mean, the connotations will come with them. Now, just about one thing, that to usher into your society what you call both donor and investor fatigue. Nobody, not in Israel, not in Russia, not in China, will ever go invest in any society. We say the government, the junta government. But that is how can they refer to the Bio-led government. And in spite of that, in spite of the troubles, the psychological pain that comes with that, Bill said, look, I will place everything behind me. I am the leader of the country. At least this is one thing done through a democratic process involving elections where people were made to use the SBS, the secret ballot system, to go to vote their conscience. And through that, I have been elected. So I have to show capacity, including that capacity to endure all of this mess targeting me. So I will come down to you to talk to you. And he's done that. I think this is the time for Kanda to say, oh, well, I have been this one person preaching, hey, put Salone first. In this case, I should put Salone first by accepting this package my brother has genuinely brought me. That to reunite with the SLPP and wait for God's time to make me president of this country.
Okay. We get about 15 more minutes for this program here, so because usually now 1 hour program we can get, and we don't get any questions, so it means the people in the enjoying. The next question we are going to ask, and then I can ask you, like, give me your general assessment going into 2023. When are they? I really now want to lay down template as to side the nation they go 2023 and which we will expect. But after this question, the question we I want to ask, how APC also will contribute towards the task of nation building at the country within the lenses of the democratic process. Waiting you will suggest they do for be part of the nation in advancement.
Well, I think the way out is to imitate the like of Alpha Khan. Alpha Khan no to SLPP. Alpha Khan no covertly, openly declares say he don't go SLPP. But Alpha Khan don't talk am say yes. I'm be the part of the process. Which side they elect His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, not be the winner, not the president. They don't call Alpha Khan work. Not for Khan work for the SLPP, for Mama Salone. So if the APC, as one of the oldest political parties, also the largest, one of the largest in the country, if the APC elects Salone, therefore act very much the same way Alpha Khan is acting. Put Salone and say, look, this man be done with these elections. Yeah. So the way forward for bring development in this country now for can work for Salone under them. That was what I did here in 2014, 2015, 16. Where the SIP Continental Europe Planetary Board, they approached me first in 2012. I've been getting about there with me, as a single parent. So I tell them, so you know what? I can't be them. I mean, I'm vulnerable. I mean, a lone parent. I'm able careless them about their well-being right now. I can't put up national politics. So when I give me time force, I want for see about them turn into little giants in this society. They will effect care for themselves, in my absence. Then I will come. So 2 years later after that, I come to them and say, okay, I don't come for going to join the SLPP. I cannot be any option. unable left now, the diaspora now is okay. Yeah, look money, when I make like register at home. No. Now yeah, I get for register. So I begin for serve them. I not be like them business, I actually leave them in the operation, we're gonna be like 3-man show, we call them 3-man syndicate. But the point is, I've been like the SLPP. And I realize here, for attain prominence in the political party like the SFP, of course, you get for use a given channel for serve the party. Doing so, you don't create record for yourself. So I get for calm down low. But Mali say bend down low. Let me tell you all I know. That's it. So I get for calm down low and begin for working. But then later on, I realize yes, that guy didn't ever change. So myself, I begin for exposing smile. So the way out for them guy them, especially Samura Kamara, I don't try for sort of kill democracy. Because in democratic settings, when you lose an election, one way for keep democracy, neither for refuse, for concede defeat. And that exactly is what Samura Kamara has done. Since 2018, come out for say, well, actually, the man don't win. Let we be work for the country on the ram until it is our own time to bounce back to power. The same thing they go also to your brother. Allow not left him out because that question okay they make discussion with you. When we brother Jimmy Battle Songa within the be proper. Now before me they count the votes. In fact, where the vote is done, it take like over 1 hour almost done with just the wait. Now we begin for a little more for say yes, had him don't win. So one of the guys that we begin for spread the rumor, go near and I'm go ask him, what not the figure what the man win? The man saying that 702. 702. If I me take my phone now, not even sort of try for how you call them, ascertain that particular thing. I just take my phone, I go live on Facebook. Me not talk about anyway, I just been say 702. And they dance to that music now. 702. 702. Say they get for slow down the music and announce the main result. So I had a match actually by 529 votes. But it's democracy. Sometimes you have to accept those things. And one person I really admire the whole process, na ina my young brother Bonafa.
Yeah,
Where
then we, we
announce the
get a
result.
we get a call, sir. I don't stop. We get a call. Caller, who said the call
Okay.
for me? What's your name, please? Caller, who said the call for me? What's your name, please?
Okay. Is it Jenny Co?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, we did
Is
listen
it
to you.
Jenny Co?
Is it who? Caller, this is not a special interview where Kutubu they hold with Mr. Masai from Holland. You get any question pertinent to that?
Okay.
Hello? I'm not sure. I think they call him a miss. All right. I mean, as we wrap up, now what I want to do now, I want to give we the way forward 2023 when actually then have been the main thing who can discuss now today. I've been saving for the last. So give a spreadsheet for 2023 across the whole country. It's not only for SLPP or this, so how you do the country, what you expect, who sort of forgo in terms of development, in terms of free, fair, and democratic elections, and all that thing. So give me a way forward out of this.
So when you go back 2023, now begin on the APC side. APC don't fail the country still. In democratic settings, showing respect for incumbent political parties, I mean, it's very, very nice. It's highly democratic. That is one thing the APC never observe. Take a look at Freetown today under Akisoya. Everywhere you pass, na mess. Chemical pollution is gone so commonplace. You see some side, then lonely part, they will say people get in mind, put dirty together, including then plastic dirty them, and plastic waste them, including batteries them, and set those things on fire. The smoke with the money, then it can cause cancer and some other, very toxic, very, very bad. It happened, all that happened under Akisoya as mayor of Freetown. And this stuff will take place if I put in place a scheme for use for CCS, Freetown is clean and look attractive to tourism, including them Portuguese people that will come and name the country Sierra Leone as a result of those hills overlooking Freetown. But how did they come? If the city there like this dirty, where you can the fear is that where you can you will get sick. Mrs. will get sick where I go Freetown this time. Imagine between the 19th and the 25th of December, I get sick very seriously. my whole nose been the wrong blow, not knowing I'd already catch malaria because Freetown don't become like a breeding ground now for mosquitoes. I mean, mosquito for malaria, mosquito bites in there. So Akisoya, in alone, therefore, caused the APC for go through a very huge blow. Another person is Samora Kamal, like I put a normal. But the elections don't take place, they don't win it. What do you for do concede defeat and say, okay, you know me, followers, me supporters, them, this it don't happen like I happened to them 2012. Let accept this result. Let me move on. Put yourself together. But Samura, they instead support, covertly support violence in the country. We don't see this in the case of Tumbo. We don't see prison riot. Some other places there. That's where the president get for stamp farm and say, oh, well, you know what, this Namide in control. If I know exact control over this, of course, that get for demoralize me. Those things are not good for opposition political parties. It will turn the society against you gradually. So 2023 law rule APC out. They are never even mistakenly likely to bounce back. Why? Look at Alpha Cam. This is like key figure in the party. 2017 convention where they go Panama Kenny, how they go demoralize them. They don't turn against the party force, you know. And a man is all like the country. Right now good message in the past is spread, but President Bio. And then a big plus for President Bio and the SLPP. So come 2023, they get for attain a passing mark, which relative is. They get for the SLPP get for the power, you know, take them beyond 2028. Why? Because all these temptations the APC is exposing the SLPP to through its excellency. These are temptations the president they see very, very cheap, enabled by them and they bypass all. Instead, a focus now on development in the country, in spite of the challenges. Remember, we don't come to power at a time when you know, Kuruma and the rest of those surrounding him don't rob the society of everything. The society not be there in agreement again with the global international community, including global financial institutions like the IMF, the World Bank. They not trust the Salone again under the APC. So for overturn all of these deficits, get for cost the president a very tedious job for the way it don't happen small, gradually trust the coming to the country under him. Plus, we don't come at a very, very difficult time. 2018-19, we don't begin for a year, but Corona. They don't call them COVID-20, they call them COVID-19 because now 2019 begin for a March. By 2020, the WHO can declare that a global pandemic. And what did that do later on? That it put a halt to everything, including movement of goods and services across the globe. Now, in spite of that, we still able to make inroads. You know,
Unfortunately, Mr. Masai, we get one more caller. Let's see which in the caller one. Call outside the call for me. Which I need, please?
Good evening. This one now for hello.
Yeah, we dey listen, caller. We dey listen to you.
Yes, Mr. Kutubu. When I thank you, I will so respect this platform, but currently, we dey see different in the thing of important. This platform no they deal with again. I'm so disappointed with this guest who I get today. From where they kind of power and also blame game. When I don't blame game for they want to year 4+ today. When I not get no tangible thing they want to put in place. When I don't hopefully disappoint we the people of the country who vote on it. I'm against both parties. When I not do one better thing in the country, both APC and SFP, when I don't do the worst today. Look the livelihood of people in today in the country. Where when I not create any job opportunity, when I not they subsidize for people and look for a longer, when I left the bag work out ECR machine where can halaki people in. Waiting when I don't really do. Waiting when I don't really do where when I go, I mean where when I go show to people. It's so pity when I don't they blame game from campaign to date. Up to now, I still blame games. APC are they against them, but they're far better than waiting when I don't do today. When I don't make, we don't see Anes like an angel. The APC party like an angel. We all voted against them. You guys are a disappointment to that nation. I'm so disappointed to VOS as well, because these days Puna know they put program there where like people then will come and say something much. I go to the comment there. Nobody know the comment these days. Una Lord take the issues and in fact me have to I'm not going to continue. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Boss, as we can wrap up like we the man now in view that and not sure anything, you can just answer that the way that will be your final comment. You can rebut to the man says, sir.
I don't really get any follow the guy opinion. I mean, entitled Trump. I mean, that is it. The guy say petrol prices to go up. I don't believe so. This guy look occurrence really with 20 to go on at the world today. I don't left here the 19th of December last year for go at the National Delegate Conference. I left petrol now nearly €2 a liter. You understand? I reached Salone, I've been 10,000 euros. I was like, what's going on here? We they paid twice, waiting at the pay now. What's that? Okay, today then the grumble say petrol don't go 12,000. We they pay now, I mean 210 cents. That's like €2 10 cents a liter. So I don't see, of course, yeah, those things maybe again one get for IGC standard of living as Salone and one I are not the same because we get jobs now and we are paid in we own local currency, so we put them the euro now. Okay, as compared to that of the euros. Okay, but again, compare the values of those things and you tell me, was high prices high? You know, these things. May the man say, Dole and woman. You understand? You know what now they mean? When I say society not a poor being company. One society poor, the other one get for poor. Prices high now, if you expect prices forget high. Because this is not about supply, demand supply. We there for supply owner. If prices high, we say supply to come out, of course, if we expect to say supply to go, if we expect prices forget high, this that is the thing. That man for BIA. The man they talk about local development. Let me tell you, how about the free quality education in society? Me don't pass for enter the whole government secondary school twice in the 80s. I'm not able to enter. Why? Because the kind scheme where His Excellency don't put into Salone today in terms of education, nobody. That is it. You see a brighter somebody, they give ambition for go to school, for be of supporting families, but it not realize dreams then simply because the only one person way it gets bien and that person get for that age 40, 45 years. I mean, living that family in abject poverty as a result of which you know will continue. President Bio don't come, you know, he's so far-sighted. He and his team, they don't come, they say, no, we for try for put all of those things in the past. So waiting for the, let we introduce a free quality education system. They don't can introduce that. And the global community, they be announced for that. They support the whole program to go on. Families everywhere, they support the idea. Then they praise the idea. Now only this guy, you know, it go be say this guy, they get a closer connection to the one who be in power under the APs, then they enjoy a lot. When they enjoy the balance money, then come shape down the give picking them in the street. You understand? So it's see as development, but that is not development. And there's
Yes.
no way we forget the mind for imitate that. No, we don't do it.
We get another call, sir. I'll call outside the call for me. What's your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Lamin.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I call from United States. I just want to tell Una I do. And tell Una thank you at least for this program. At least like me Sierra Leone income force past any other thing. At least there we politicians, there are most of them they don't really fail way. Both the past and the present. At least for this particular regime, we support. You understand? At least for make we see differences. But it seems like for make we they go before, now retrogress we they retrogress. It really sad, you understand, with this we guest na the studio. I mean just feel, you understand, say I don't know which part na the west way in the. But if in there the west, you understand. I just want to make and see what thing they happen here in terms of this education where they talk about compared to back home. And make and see the environment and the structures them, like the schooling systems them. It's so sad. You know, for let people and still they come na them platform there where for they talk for with people and for improvement, at least they try for they mislead with people and it really sad. Yeah, because we only travel in and out. Go, you see, the school system, no toilet, no, no water, sanitation is very a serious challenge. For let somebody who can't talk at them platform here, they would think, oh, it's like at least maybe now their brother there where they receive brown envelopes. You see, but the system is completely mess. The country completely mess. The hardship, the everything. Where we be the expect say at least some improvement for the not just only for them the one the way they in authorities and the families them. This for education, all they talk. How many of them people are? You understand? Some of them picking them they go government school. When God give them this opportunity now, then they pull them picking them from them schools they they carry and go. Now them private schools them. You see, look this agriculture also. No encouragement, not there. Everybody, you see, because waiting the people and the support the when the people and they expect where they are the small villages, they're not the same. So waiting the happen, everybody they run down. You see, road network now another big challenge, very serious challenge, both present and past. You see, if we not they be sincere to people them, how we able to do better thing for that country? You see, so it really it's so sad where some of, especially a young man, you then at the West here, looking at the benefit, the kind of privileges the way they enjoy at them place here, you they talk about Sierra Leone, we completely mess. Nothing all day. Look the hospitals them. Look the hospitals them. How they're so terrible, how they're so filthy. Eh? You then at the West here, you go to a place, you go to a hospital, pass it, until I tell you say na inside hospital today. You see the difference is so great. We went for the put pressure upon them wicked crook rogue politicians there. And we they can because of let God sorry for let God sorry for it. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. But this now one of the things that will get them platform there who come we we express your opinion. So we get another caller. We get as a matter of fact, we get two callers. Hopefully after that now they will give you closing remarks. First caller, who said the call for me? Which name, please, and which you get for add to the topic.
Yes, Mr. Kutubu, been at the previous caller again before this last one here.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask these guys if in Peking they attend this free and quality education when they talk, but waiting free and quality about this education where the people are they go and sing and dance with. We get video then where we say that they show schools in Sierra Leone where one school and one village where the school this rain way pass or this rainy season way pass or where the school now one guy in your cinema then go use inside one green cinema na 4 classroom day. Then they show a video for both school where they say when are the hostels the way people in the sleep the bed then in your picking and not go get my sleep. It's a shame, man. It's a big shame. But I not get sorry for the people the way they vote on in. When I really not get mercy for the layman the way they give on power today. It's a big shame. From the one when I meet fuel 7,500 here, it is today. Just shortly, not even a week, where fuel crisis then and power, where it number to 12,000. It's a big disgrace for now, my dear. I'm so disappointed in you. You say you didn't at Europe, then you come and deceive people and so today. Some of them are the diaspora and they're not to all. But some of them really aspire for power, some of we let God make una pray, let some of we not succeed power in that country. A big disappointment for them. I wish what they talk so. You begin the taste that you free education the way they talk about. And which I'm very sure you won't say the truth and none of you begin or your family member not they go through that education the way they talk about. I'm disappointed. Now only this kind platform they host some of Hona. Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller, I'll say the call from, please. What's your name? Okay, we don't lost the caller. Like I say, let's see. I mean, okay, let's see if I go. Give myself some few more minutes. Let's see. I'll go wrap up. Now, Mr. Masai, these are the concerns and they are where the people don't bring. They not seem to be, optimistic or euphoric about, the rosy pictures that we don't lay. But as always, it is in a democracy, we get everybody to agree. What they look at things like from different spectrums. So maybe now, say, perhaps, one of the people who they receive brown envelopes. So, so in the question of receiving brown envelopes, you can't do praise singing and all that. But to me, that academic becoming not in a position for saying you receive brown envelope or not. And that's not really the issue. Now, the issue here is when are the way forward. Then see them in another light and you see them in another light. But in the final analysis, we all foresee them in the light of Salone. Waiting to hear Salone go before. You see, the good thing about democracy, we view them how they express, then they vary. They vary us as we face them. Sometimes waiting me call black, you look and say na yala. But in the final analysis though, now one thing all get in common, how Salone go before. So I don't know if you can use this now for wrap up, for give you closing remarks, and take into consideration what people they say, but very mindful of the fact say that they right for disagree with your assessment.
Yeah, well, of course, Brakutuba don't come, yeah, the people get right their own opinion, but then for me, massive full actually was Australian. Now they use society that, now we all get that. I mean, get to work, put in place invented statistics for sort of deep blow to a sitting government simply because you dare against that particular government. With politics, I mean, this is always the case with the African continent as a whole. We had always the tribes and regions connect. That is it. That regional ethnic bias, it don't dominate to politics so much so that these guys already talk plenty. I like His Excellency begin for apportion rice bags now amongst families free of charge. You know, ever be satisfied with that. It go say, Nadamo, we don't go thief, don't go sell the money. 10% of that money now we don't use to buy rice for shape and give families them. The balance don't go to pocket them. Why? Because a heart not deal with it because that heart not connect to it simply because I mean we not share same region, we not share same tribe. That is the politics which we would go through today. But let me tell you, if we want for sense development, inside Sierra Leone, first of all, we get for land for understand yes, elections be done to take place. And the one way win for this president, and His Excellency, retired Brigadier Julius Madabio. Whether we like him or not, I think this time for show love for the country by deciding for work with him. Now, so democracies they operate. I mean, by doing this, we able to encourage people, including investors, including donors, them for coming pour resources in the country. In the absence of that, we get for the grumble again and again. Let's remember COVID will only take place. And waiting COVID can we like how talk earlier on that it only slow down that of movement of goods and services across the rest of the globe. People not get the mind for move on today simply because the restrictions in the form of what they call lockdowns here and there. Of course, they don't begin for ease, remove some of these restrictions now. So with time, again for sort of again for pass, again for subside, and then maybe more and more developments get for coming. For now, His Excellency don't try. I mean, no country will emerge in the absence of education. If you don't introduce quality education, no one day will not everybody's under APC. But I mean, will not everybody's under previous governments, perhaps even governments we come in place before the APC government of Ernest Bai Kroma. Not only under His Excellency Julius Malema. And by the way, construction is going on everywhere. You get construction works of bridges, of houses, of homes for people across society. I don't go there. I don't go there for 1 2 weeks. I go there for 3 weeks. Just imagine from 19th of December all the way to 11th of January. I was there nearly a month, and I was seeing things myself. And trust me, development will go on. It may be slow, But let's bear something in mind. It took the APC-led government managed by Kroma 10, 11 solid years for the stress to do completely, for rob the country of everything, including meager resources meant for development in the country. 11 solid years. And Kutubu, it takes much longer time, cost much more resources to build, to fix than it takes to destroy. That is why it don't take Salone how many years, 11 years to go to war, destroy life and property in the country. Even now, we're not able to overturn the deficit without what it costs. So how about the theft will take place on Ernest by Roma? The robbery will take place on Ernest by Roma of this poor society for 11 solid years. So for overturn that again for cost Marabi a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of resources. And I think the best thing Swahilians need to do now is to be a little bit patient. They have to show restraint somehow. In the absence of that, then we choose to come out in the street and begin for maybe throw stones here and there, shouting, we need this and that. I mean, so it's a challenge all of us need to work on together,
Yes.
as a country.
Mr. Masai, the program not become so interesting, and now they get calls upon calls. Call outside the call for me. Waiting your name, please. Call ID on the line. Outside the call for me. Waiting your name.
Hi, I recall from Arizona.
Yes, sir.
I recall from Arizona. Mina Chief for me.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say thank you, Mr. Kutubu, Professor, for the good work that they do for our country. It only takes love for make una get una time away for rest and go sit down for discuss about country where nobody know how to take responsibility for in spoil one. Nobody know one for come up with idea how for make Salone. Now how Salone for make them. I go actually respond to it was this second to last caller before I called. Where it come with the cost of gas and all those things. All about government, not saying a continuity, but there are certain destruction where a particular political party go don't cause. We are not going to expect a government for car within 3 to 4 years for car make Salone paradise. Yeah, we all don't know how that country they be the run. We all see side people that be they go for go give anti-corruption commissioner $50,000, $200,000 cash for me they not go. We all see the under that they pay money. So many people are not kind of radio that they compare the cost of today to that of what did happen. We all know say this time of the war all over and a crisis where they go on. So there's no way they say we can't talk something positive about the country. People so hungry for me they know what the country do for them. Professor, it's time we start for ask yourself, what would we do for Sierra Leone? How many lives would we able for church for change? How many lives would we contribute to? What would we do in our villages then? What would we come on? What would we do there? Because somehow we can't lead on they talk against sludge because they don't opposition now. They talk they don't want to appreciate. If we not learn to appreciate yourself, we would have to appreciate it. The government not there for be perfect. They get their own lapses though. Because President Biogo appoint people, they're not going to do it to the president want to do. But when they talk about education, one way or the other, they don't try. The latitude of education will be not paralyzed. That in the way President Biogo can put life under him. In order for turn like American education within the twinkle of the eye, it takes process. Let people try to understand that. You compare it to gas. America, how much do they buy gas? Some power they use premium or them. Will they pay up to 5 something? They tell me they pay about 5.42 for pump gas. Yeah. So you go compare for 7,000. The COVID-19 you go compare about Ebola we end for just 9 months. A lot of people they know they talk as Sierra Leoneans. They talk in this party business. The way they someone not talk about party. President Bio, he don't try. He get lapses and where he need for do more. We know that. But let people they learn for appreciate the little thing the way they do. The likes of David Sengeden, that what they don't do now the education sector within the few time You know, we they tell a thank you, but we they see they ask the government to make do more. You know, they're not okay, but not to today they go for change. The people that left over they can already they talk slush. APC don't the polar government they una all be they celebrate because una be they get free money, una they go do business free. Una no am pay tax. That's the same way they talk to people they hate. It's unfortunate time done. I tell you thank you. What I did,
Thank you.
can be.
Yeah. Samasai, before you come give closing remarks, I hope so we no go get any other call. Yeah, man. Waiting at the when are you actually refer to you know one of them people where they receive brown envelopes. I mean, is it true you said that you see brown envelope? I mean, is it true, sir?
The one call of us where I Nina Brown. So Brown envelope comes to me. I'm against corruption. That is one thing. If inside Holland, the major problem with people get to be that I blunt. I like for voice out things for do it. Anything we get ben in Panam. So not to me that. I not to get any brown envelope, and I not get any connection to any government institutions, not of the kind. Yeah, the only thing is yes, me na elected chairperson to this chapter in Holland. That is it. And I like for talk the truth. I don't go na town. I don't spend like I tell you close to a month. I don't see for myself. And by the way, in Mende will say, Yemi ato Yemi go to a doctor boy ogomi. It's like Uda Siam na Misiam na the case close. You know, it's the same thing as seeing is believing. I don't see him. And they bring this cow out to my audience now tonight, to Australian public, both back home and abroad. You know, but somehow like how this man talk no more. They can go out for invent story for damage a sitting government simply because either tribally, regionally, they don't hold any connection to particular sitting government. This is what is going on. People there against His Excellency not because in a bad person, but because I mean they don't connect to them by way of tribe and region. So in the tribe for sort of undermine them. If they do good things, then they paint them red. You know, for suggest yes, in a very dangerous person in society. But no, it do best. Like how the matter come, yeah, development to go on at a rather slow pace because of waiting to go on globally. We all as societies, I mean, we they are to move interdependently. Salone will progress in the absence of help from other societies. Then, but if we get things like pandemic, if we get crisis like Ukraine and other parts of the world, this get forget. I mean, influence somehow. You know, on the pace at which you expect development for sort of flow into your society. People are not doing these calculations the right way. So my advice to them, like how the young man put them, please show some sense of restraint. Do ya na phobia. President Bio, they doing best. And with time, when I get for Siam, 4 years into power, and you know, the president will be they go embezzle, they thief a lot, where come that pocket change, you come, team up society, na publish, it begin for ship down the street boys them, you know, then they go and praise the name. We do not do that, and I think this is where people are sort of getting against us. But it's okay. I mean, we did for sure love the country.
Now take another call and see waiting answer get for our caller. What's the name outside the call from and waiting are your contribution to the
Mr.
ongoing
Kutubu,
debate?
this now a regular caller.
Well, everybody in a regular caller, everybody with the call now viewers. Everybody.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, we not get enough time. But they listen the program, Mr. Kutubu. Let them people are left people waiting and they tell people with waiting they happen at the daily life of people and are two different things. This social media thing, the propaganda too much with waiting then they play with, yeah. And then people are they don't disappoint we the voters because we all they go against APC based on their promises and their manifesto. Then they promise the people and say that they can't put bread and butter. I mean, that they can't change the system of the bread and butter for the people and for the masses. Go to the free turn, let you check how many people, how many percentage they live with a daily meal in the country. You don't go campaign against the past regime, then wait till you campaign against, you can do the worst past the past regime. Now we'll go to the last two Auditor General report will come on. They don't see past the previous government, we don't did it for 11 years. Yeah? just for 4 years when they come in power, they don't see fast the other way down there for 11 years. So to be honest with you, it's a shame, it's a big disgrace for them people there. They don't get anything other than casting blame to the past regime. No talk for the country, no try for fix things there. But no can you talk against you company there, what you can do worse than you company where you don't talk against. It's a shame. When I then people country, when I see the difference. The difference is too much compared to the recent thing. This what we happened recently, now when I want take the hide from Ebola come, when I say when I not go hide from the Ebola, but today when I still hide from the corona. Yeah. So the law will just stop them and the law will see how we will fix the country. But it's too late. You can't find the pig on the market day. All them tell when they do so, I wish now when I be the first dent here today. I wish God be asked on let go back to that layman in your position back today. Because now some of when they receive the brown envelope from them party there. When I'm highly connected to them. Now when they send for kind of social media for can't deceive people. This time around, Sierra Leone and they don't take dancing in there anymore. Yeah? Thank God some of them video they are there out. When I come and kill people there, that president don't come out and say even say sorry to the people there. Instead, my party and the party and dance for the people and go. Thank you.
Well, unfortunately, now we last call this. That man, I will last call him. So, Mr. Masai, in the next 2-3 minutes, just give you closing remarks now. Because we really don't exceed the time. This program for done 30 minutes ago. So, in the next 2-3 minutes, give you closing remarks, sir.
Well, me family we don't can't talk to now for about an hour now. About which going on the country under His Excellency Julius Madabio. The developments will not take place ever since he came to power in 2018, and in spite of the many challenges, the inroads they want to make, including construction of roads, bridges, of homes for the poor, the introduction of the free quality education, those things, So I think when a liberal-minded person like me go take a look at those things and say, well, if this plan don't come, in spite of all these difficult times, and they are able to implement these things. I mean, things to get steep of development for within the country. I think the time should be now for allow this man for continue for the day. Because who knows, maybe 1 year from now, 2 years from now, all those things to do with global pandemic, to do with global crisis, and there, all of those things get for sort of get for subside, and then His Excellency able to reach out to donors, to investors, and come pour more and more resources in the Australian society and bring more and more progress in the country. But again, for take patience on your part. As Australians, we come together. Numbers for electoral. You not follow the plenty talking for do with the president, the thief money, this that. The Auditor General report, those things are lies. I not see any another report, any Auditor General report will come always say, well, in just 2-3 years' time, the money we President Bill thief na the country or the new direction regime don't can thief, it will exceed that money we Chroma and cronies thief in the country for 11 years. That not going ever happen, to be honest. I mean, just imagine, we don't hear the Kuruma and regime and deny properties, I mean, built out of meager resources belonging to society, then deny ownership of this property because, yes, the CCS, I mean, for agreed sales, that then belong, questions become as to which side they pull the money. So those things are enough to tell Swalinians that Kuruma and his crew have all been about thief and theft in the society. We will not trust them. We not allow them to come back to power 2023 because that will mean not only disgrace society, it will mean a complete demotion for Sierra Leone, both economically and of course morally. On the global stage, they get for cause serious trust deficit in Sierra Leone as society. So me urge all man of voting age in the country come 2023, come out, give more and more chance to the SLPP regime for continue for the power and see we decide for take the country next.
Thank you. Well, you're the way Salako Maxwell can say, he say we can now get for both. I want to thank all we listeners, supporters, and fans them now. US, of course, we always say, one thing now we agree for disagree. This now are part of the politics. You not necessarily get for be sold to anybody in your own position. Mr. Masai don't can't lay in your own, vision as you see the country, I go. We bother they say they don't can't lay their own vision. But in the final analysis, then the voters in 2023, now then get for make informed decisions as to who that your vision is. So until we come back next time again, Mr. Kutubu Koma, the sign off.
Thank you very much.